stillness might seem like nothing is happening, like the absence of movement. But in reality, physics tells us that true stillness doesn't really exist. Even when everything seems perfectly calm, forces are always at work, shaping the world in ways we don't notice. Tonight, we'll explore the hidden physics of stillness, how objects stay in place, why even motionless things are never truly at rest, and how the universe itself is constantly in motion. Begin by thinking about something as simple as sitting or lying down. Right now, your body feels still, but forces are quietly working to keep you in balance. Gravity is pulling you down, while the surface beneath you is pushing back with equal force. This invisible balancing act is called normal force, and it's what prevents you from sinking through the floor. Without this force, standing or sitting in place wouldn't be possible. Next, picture a quiet lake on a windless day. The water appears completely still, like a sheet of glass. But beneath the surface, tiny molecules are constantly in motion, vibrating and bouncing off one another. This movement is caused by temperature. The warmer the water, the more its molecules move. Even ice, which seems frozen in place, has molecules that subtly vibrate. The stillness we see is just an illusion created by the limits of our own senses. Now think about outer space. It's the quietest place imaginable, with no air to carry sound. But even in the vacuum of space, stillness doesn't exist. Planets spin, galaxies move, and the universe itself is expanding. Scientists believe that even at the smallest level, particles that make up everything are always vibrating. Even in the emptiest corners of space, motion is always happening. Another fascinating example of stillness in physics is the idea of inertia. Inertia is an object's resistance to change in motion. A book resting on a table stays still because nothing is pushing or pulling it enough to make it move. But the moment you apply force, like nudging it with your hand, it will shift. The heavier an object, the more inertia it has, meaning it takes more effort to make it move. This is why a small ball is easy to push, but a large rock takes much more effort. Stillness can also be an illusion in our own perception. When you sit in a moving car and look straight ahead, it feels like you're not moving at all. But if you look out the window, you'll see the world rushing past. The same thing happens on Earth. Right now, we feel motionless. But our planet is spinning at about 1,000 miles per hour while also traveling around the sun. The only reason we don't feel this movement is because everything around us is moving at the same speed. In the world of physics, even something as simple as balance is a careful combination of forces. When a tightrope walker stands on a rope, they look still, but their body is constantly making small adjustments to keep from falling. Even standing on 2 feet requires tiny shifts in our muscles and posture to stay upright. What feels like stillness is actually a delicate process of correcting motion before it becomes noticeable. Stillness also plays a role in sound. A quiet room might seem silent, but if you listen closely, you'll always hear something. Your own breathing, the faint hum of electricity, or even the soft ringing of your ears. Complete silence is almost impossible to achieve. In fact, the quietest room in the world, built to absorb all the sound, is so unsettling that most people can only stay in it for a short time before they start hearing their own heartbeat and the blood flowing through their veins. At the atomic level, stillness doesn't exist at all. Everything is made up of atoms, and inside each atom, electrons are constantly moving. Even at absolute zero, the coldest possible temperature, where all thermal motion is supposed to stop, there is still a tiny amount of movement due to quantum mechanics. This means that on the smallest scale, nothing is ever truly at rest. Even light, which seems to appear instantly when you flip a switch, has motion behind it. Light moves at nearly 300,000 kilometers per second, making it the fastest thing in the universe. But if you could freeze time, you'd see that light travels in waves, bouncing and bending as it moves. The light around you is never still. It's just moving too fast for us to notice. In the grand scale of the universe, stillness is an illusion. From the tiniest particles to the largest galaxies, everything is in motion. But in our daily lives, stillness can be a comforting thing, a moment of peace in an always moving world. So as you close your eyes and relax, remember that even in complete stillness, the forces of physics are always at work, keeping everything in balance. If you enjoyed these calming science facts, follow Science Flows for more fascinating discoveries.